How's it going, everybody? This is your boy Marcus Norman from Gentleman Style Podcast, the show with the most, coming to you live. Thank you for tuning in. Here we go. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Marcus Norman Gentleman Style Podcast, your host of the #1 podcast, coming to you live in America. And today we have a very special guest. This man, ex-Marine, thank you for serving our country. We appreciate you. Thank you for honoring us and being us with here today. He's an ex-Marine who chased the American dream and overcame so many different things over the course of his lifetime, from bankruptcy, divorce, and the struggles in corporate America. He is changing the game, hands down. He is now empowering and educating others, not only through Cryptocurrency Mastermind Community, but also through his financial literacy workshops. Through his mentorship and coaching, he is helping others change their future and financial legacy for the better, and being able to leave corporate America through cryptocurrency and other areas. And he is now changing the scheme for the dynamic for many, many others. My guest today, Mr. Jamar James, is mentoring businessmen, women, professionals, lawyers, doctors, as well as others like you and I, into diversifying into alternative cryptocurrency strategies. And he is here today to spill all the tea. Well, not all the tea. You can't give all the tea. The rest of the tea you got to get in this masterclass. But let me, without further introduction, without this man introduces himself, Mr. Jamar James, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Mr. Jamar James. Yo!
Thank you for having me, man. It's an honor to be here, and man, it is good to see God, family, and finance all in the same sentence.
That's true, right? That's true. When I started the show, I wasn't seeing anyone bring those things together, and they're big, and they're at the core of what we need in society. And you, my friend, you are just changing the game. Everybody totes the bandwagon in cryptocurrency, but you are authentic. You are the real deal. And I can't thank you enough for coming on the show and blessing my audience today with your wisdom. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you for having me. I mean, each one should teach one, and I believe in cooperation over competition. Everybody has a light, and it costs you nothing to share your light with others. So that's kind of the philosophy we live by.
That's true. That's true. That's so real, right? And so many times entrepreneurs try and sneak by with this, but I'm not going to let it slide by. Tell us, cryptocurrency, is this just a fad, or is this something that's here to stick and stay? Is the hype around it? I mean, what's the deal?
Nah, I think it's a gift and a curse. The gift is that, cryptocurrency is a digital form of payment. It basically removes all the borders that we've had traditionally throughout the world history, time and space of interacting with each other, through digital currency, through cryptocurrency. You're able to interact and exchange payment with anybody in the world immediately. And that is something that, revolutionizes the economy and the e-commerce. Like, the internet is revolutionary. And now payment, like you weren't able to send a payment 100 years ago or 200 years ago, 300 years ago, anywhere in the world, and it get there right away. So the digital forms of payment, that is something that it opens up the entire world to individuals. And inside cryptocurrency, we believe in community and peer-to-peer, cutting out the middleman. Cryptocurrency allows you to cut out the middleman, but the curse is that decentralization is something that's been or centralization has been around since governments, and most money is centralized, and it's always been centralized. You go back to the Roman Empire, they created their own coins and they established the value. Here in the United States, you go to China, everybody has their own currency, and countries are trying to control the digital currency and control the cryptocurrency in Bitcoin. So with that being said, if you believe in, new world orders or any kind of conspiracies that, talk about control, having all your funds in a digital world, it allows, if someone gets control of it, or if the people don't know, it allows all your funds to be controlled in a centralized manner, such as, banking is centralized, right? If
Yep.
they lock down the bank and you had money there and they close the doors, it's really not your money. So it's just a slippery slope of, the idea, the mentality. If, you're able to transact and keep your funds outside the banking and transact one-on-one, that is the best vision of cryptocurrency and digital currency, is being peer-to-peer.
See, and you touched on it, right? You dug right into it right there. It's, back in the day, communities would have their own form of currency. So
Right.
no matter where you went in Rome in the previous world, if you went to Rome, they had their own currency and it kept it local. We can
Right.
exchange our own, we can control our own. And you're speaking on it, and that's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, currency, circulates, and it also, in the past, it limited you to a local area. They had their currency in a certain area. Bartering has been around since the beginning of time, where people determine the value. So it doesn't matter if I didn't speak the same language. It's like, hey, I give you 10 cows and you give me 10 bags of rice, right? Like, the people determine that. When it came to centralization, the government or the republic, they determined how much the one coin was. We'll back that coin, and one Julius Caesar coin is worth, five rocks or whatever. They determined that, right?
Right.
And
Right.
United States determines that $1 is $1. But with people now, with cryptocurrency, they can determine the price. There's no centralization. It's decentralized. It's all over the world. In America, Bitcoin here could be worth 17,000 a day, and Tanzania is worth 30,000 because they are determining the price in their local areas.
Facts. Hashtag facts. I can't. And so in cryptocurrency, who determines the value of that Bitcoin or the value of it?
I like to say it's the truest form of currency that's out there because there's no centralization. So it's decentralized, and that means people determine the price. Whereas in all the other currencies out there, the government determines it. And so now people, supply and demand, there's a limited amount of Bitcoin, a limited amount of cryptocurrencies. So now it is whatever we decide it's worth, and it can change day by day.
Absolutely. And so what, in your experience, in your wisdom, what's the holdup, right? We're seeing it right now. We're in a recession. We're in a pandemic.
Right.
What's the holdup with just going straight from getting rid of the US dollar and switching over? Because I mean, my money's electronic anyway, right?
Right.
My direct deposit hits the bank. I don't even see the dollar bill unless I go to the ATM or whatever and pull out cash. But my money's already electronic. What's the holdup with going over?
I mean, the major holdup is one, the government is printing out more money than it's ever printed out in the last 100 years. It printed out in the last 12 months. People, internet, two things that people don't really get taught in school or really don't embrace is technology and finance. From your entire life, you've been told to put your money in the bank and save or get a financial advisor, and they'll invest it for you. So people don't want the responsibility of their funds. And then technology, people don't embrace technology. And so the user itself has to embrace being in charge of their finance and have to embrace being, using technology. But on the flip side, the government biggest income producing, the day you're born, you are worth something in taxes. There's a revenue per citizen amount. There's a revenue per employee amount. So their thing is that before they release digital currency to the public, like essential banking, essential digital dollar, they want to make sure that they have the controls in place to collect taxes. Taxation is something from the beginning of time, right?
Yep.
And the whole spirit of crypto is peer-to-peer. It doesn't include a third party. And so for the government standpoint, they have to put the controls in place that they will be able to extract their taxes when they want. And so right now, who collects your taxes? The employers. They got the entire world collecting, entire U.S. businesses collecting taxes. 80% of the taxes comes through the companies, and 80% of people are employees. Well, so many people are independent now. They're trying to make sure that they have controls in place so they can actually collect on taxes. I think that is a big holdup from corporations, from people. Everyone is, like banks and corporations don't embrace it as much because they have to change the way they do accounting, and they have to make sure that it's going to be beneficial when they switch over. The tax laws and tax guidelines have just now been put in place the last year or two, and it's still unclear. The tax code is unclear in general for the majority of people. The majority of people haven't read the IRS handbook or IRS tax rule, and half the accountants out there haven't. So how are people going to file? And I think that is the hesitation. They don't want that. They don't want to miss out on collecting their taxes.
It's true. Because that's what keeps them in power, right? That's what keeps us slave to them, right? And that's how they fix our roads and whatnot. But if they have no form of taxation, this new currency, the government doesn't like it.
You'll see guys protesting. You'll see them riot. You'll see them tear up their communities. You'll see people sit out and occupy Wall Street. But you've never seen them protest and say, hey, you know what? We're just not paying. Right? Like the revolution, like they're protesting, they're rioting, but you're funding the same people you're protesting and rioting against. What sense does that make? And that's how scared and dangerous it is, to be in that world of finance.
It's true. It's true. It evolves and changes.
I have to watch what I say.
Yep. Your lawyer might be tuning in. He's like, hey man, hey. So what is the best right now? What do you think you already said cryptocurrency is here to stay. What is the best form to buy? You got Bitcoin, you got Ethereum, you got XRP, you got Litecoin. And I'm just so overwhelmed, with it all. It's like, how does your masterclass help us lift the fog and get through that? What's the best Bitcoin?
So, I want guys to think, it is like stock market. There's 1,000 companies out there. If you want to invest in Amazon or Facebook, you want to in Microsoft, the cryptocurrency in the digital currency world is based on future technology and sentiment. And so like it is, like what are you investing in? And when you have cryptocurrency, you're basically investing in a future ideal or a current technology that happens to be associated with currency. So, of course, Bitcoin is the king currency. It's the equivalent of the dollar in the world. The dollar is the reserve currency in the world. Anyone that buys cryptocurrency or that's in a digital space, they know Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin has the brand recognition as the first. It is the original. I think, forever, anyone new that gets into cryptocurrency, the first thing they're going to be introduced to is Bitcoin. But from a usage point, I think Ethereum, has an entire ecosystem built around it. The thing with Bitcoin is it's a coin. With Ethereum, it has tokens that's associated with Ethereum, and it's an ecosystem. So, the DeFi lending, the decentralized finance lending, the tokens, they're all based on a development environment within Ethereum. So for me, for Ethereum to go away, it would actually destroy a lot of other projects. It would minimize, or if they have problems. But for Bitcoin, it is the first, and it's the king. So it's a two-pronged thong. I tell guys that I buy both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But the other coins out there, it's all based on, speculation and what their purpose is. So there's other coins that may be better and have better technology. But as far as usage, I'm a volume trader. I trade based on volume. and I trade based on how many people are trading, almost like open interest. And so I want to trade what's highly that has the most amount of interest and has the most amount of volume, and that gives me the long-term comfort that there's going to take a lot of buyers to get out. Something like Ripple has 1 billion coins, but there's not 1 billion people into crypto right now. So the price always stays low, and there's a large amount of XRP out there. It doesn't. You need mass adoption for Ripple to really go up. Whereas from Ethereum and Bitcoin, there's a smaller amount that's needed for you to make a lot of money with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have a question from our audience. We have Ms. Shanique Henry asking, how much dollars does one Bitcoin cost?
Right. So it's the equivalent of going to the bank. You can get $1 worth of Bitcoin. You can get $100 worth. It's the equivalent. How much is a million Satoshis, which makes up a Bitcoin, is equivalent right now 17,000. But you can actually you can convert it from like $100 of your $100 of cash, and you can get $100 worth of Bitcoin. So there's a misconception out there that if they're saying, hey, Bitcoin is 17,000, that is for an entire Bitcoin. If you just want to buy a piece of Bitcoin, you can buy $50 worth of Bitcoin. You can buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. The same way you can go take out $5 or $10 from the bank. So what I like to tell people is, when you go to Mexico, you go to an exchange, and when you get off the plane, you have an exchange. You can say, hey, I have $100. Well, our $100 here is probably worth 1,000 pesos there.
Yep.
And so you say, hey, I'm gonna take this $100 and I'm gonna get 1,000 pesos. Well, for Bitcoin, it's the same thing. You're gonna take these $100 and you'll get the equivalent in Bitcoin loaded onto your phone. And so that is what we call the currency exchange. Bitcoin is no different than a world currency. It's no different than the yen is a Japanese yen, no different than pesos being a Mexican currency. A Bitcoin is a world currency. So anywhere in the world, you can exchange it for their currency.
Whoa. Hold up. So you're telling me I don't have to exchange my dollars. Bitcoin is already going, when I transfer that, it's already going to be transferable to someone in Tanzania or someone in Belize or someone in the UK. That currency, I don't need to exchange that?
No, so if I I have a phone and I have Bitcoin here. If I go to Africa and he has a wallet and he wants Bitcoin, I can send the Bitcoin from my phone to his phone. But if I went to an exchange place and someone in Africa, I said, hey, I'm in Tanzania right now and I need your currency. Would you give me your currency and I send you the Bitcoin? It's just a regular exchange. You say, I'll send you the Bitcoin. They give me their currency. So you can exchange it anywhere else in the world as well. It's peer-to-peer, community-based.
Wow. So you said something that stuck out to me. You said, your phone, my phone. I lose my phone all the time. How safe is Bitcoin as it's being exchanged, as it's on that wallet?
So this is the personal responsibility. Bitcoin is safe as long as you don't give so all the Bitcoin is how we store our money in the bank. It's in the bank and it's online as well, right?
Right.
And if someone hacks in and gets your username and password, they can go online and send your money anywhere in the world. Correct?
Exactly. Yep. Correct.
So the only difference between Bitcoin and your bank account is that if someone sends your money out of your bank account, you may have fraud insurance, or you may have insurance in your bank that says, hey, you know what, we'll cover it. We'll put your money back out and we're going to go look for the person that stole your money. Right? With Bitcoin, there's no one you can report it to. So if someone gets access to your online account or your Bitcoin wallet, they can send it out. That's how most of Bitcoin is lost, is through theft, through someone getting hacked. Right? But on the flip side, if you lose your phone, you have a private key for every wallet. Whoever has that private key can access your Bitcoin, your coins on the blockchain. So you can write that private key down and store it. in a lockbox in your house. But if someone opens that lockbox and they have that code, that private key, they can get access to all your funds. No different than someone breaking into your account at Wells Fargo or Bank of America and having access to all your money there. Right. So it's up to you as an individual to secure your Bitcoin, secure your crypto.
Okay. So keep it safe. Keep that code. It sounds like a pin to me. Keep that code. Don't share it with anybody. Don't share it with your mom. Don't share it with your dad, your boo thing, your girlfriend, your husband, whatever the case may be. How did you find this community? Because you were doing well in the corporate world, right? You were.
I was doing well in the corporate world. I just wanted to be free. I wanted to be free and independent. And so, I basically got into trading. I was trading gold and oil, and I was doing really well in the gold and oil and the ETFs and futures. In 2015, I seen a lot of the guys I was trading with, they started navigating over to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. And, I experienced, I didn't really believe in it, either. I was like, hey, it's fake money, but it's tradable. You can trade anything. It's like you trading into a penny stock. A lot of those stocks, they're not a real company. They're gonna go down, but you'll take the trade just to make money as a day trader. I got into crypto in 3 months. I made about 300%, and I was like, why am I trading the stock market in futures? And I'm only making like 10 or 15% on a larger account. I took a small amount of money and, started making money from that point on. And from there, I thought that, I had a mom that worked for the post office for 35 years. I had a dad that was a trucker. I had a grandfather that was a longshoreman. Everybody in my family was blue collar workers. And I was making what they made in a year, I was able to make in a month. And it's like, working hard, that's something that we're told. The struggle is real. Work hard. I'm from Oakland, California. And I didn't have anyone to tell me about the stock market. I had no one to tell me about crypto. So you look back, the stock market has been around for almost 300 years. And no one in my family could tell me about it. So when I started getting the stock market, I was like, it's been around so long, I'm just catching up. But when crypto came, and I got exposed to it, it's like technology and finance in one. And this is something that's lacking out of our communities, right? So I said, hey, I'm going to learn this. And I just made 300% in a month. I want to embrace this. And I'll be able to be an outlet for people that may not be exposed to it. If someone would expose this to my mom 30 years ago, my life would have been totally different because she worked hard. Carrying mail from 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a hard life. But I wish someone would have told her, like, look, hey, invest in this, and in a month you may make 10 or 15 grand, and you don't have to walk every day with a 70-pound pack of mail on. And it's just their environment. We're not exposed to it.
Right. They're not used to it. I mean, even for me, you're right. It's like so many of us go through that, right? So many of us grow up in an environment where we are taught to the level that our parents do. So they can't show us other than what they've already been exposed to. And so the unfortunate side is, this is their ceiling. And so, they can only teach that level. So you're right.
I like to say that, I don't want to buy my kids things I never had. I want to teach them things I never knew. Right? Because if you buy them things, how they have it. But if you teach them things that you didn't know and you're constantly trying to learn new things to expose your kids to, this way you're keeping them up with the times because things evolve. And, I tell my kids, life is easy and you don't have to work as hard. Like there's a big world out there. Like it really is.
Real.
But, I was taught the struggle is real, and I thought that. So for me, coming up as a 16-year-old, I didn't think anything was wrong with having 2 or 3 jobs. I was just, hey, bro, I'm getting money, I'm hustling, I'm going hard. I'm working 20 hours and I'm killing myself at 16, 17, but I didn't know any difference. Right. But when you get outside your environment, you start going into financial districts, they're making $100,000 a day. Right. And so why would I spend this time, trying to, I need to be exposed to something else. And I want to expose other people to the same things. My kids have never seen me work for anyone, and it's like,
Wow.
I'm here with them. Yeah, I mean that I feel not the money and everything else we have, but the lifestyle,
You're home.
right? The home. I mean, I have a guy from Alabama last month, he made 200,000. And he's in the group and he's like, we just financially free. And now the change, we don't have to think like everyone else. We can actually tell our kids, hey, be what you want to be. Like, if you want to start a business, I'll support it, because now it is unlimited. You have the resources that it makes things possible.
So that's incredible. You said, did you just say $100,000 a day in a day?
Yeah, yes. I mean, there in crypto, there's you have a 10,000 investment. It can go 10 times up in the same day. You can take 10,000 and turn it to 100,000 in one day in crypto.
Okay. So we all tuning in. We subscribing to you. We just joined your masterclass. What is the average person? What do you recommend them to start with when getting started in investing in cryptocurrency?
I look at every trader that comes into my world as, if I was to go blind and I was to lose my hands, would I trust this person with $100,000? Right. And so would I trust them to trade for me? So I tell all the guys that come in, before you start investing money, you have to understand the foundation and the basics. You have to learn about money. You have to come in this first month. You don't even know what questions to ask. So why would I tell you to put money into the market? I'm going to tell you, like, hey, put $10 or $100 in the market, because it's all about percentages. So it's not about how much you put in from the start. It's about putting in a small amount, going through the process, so you can actually understand the foundation. So you have confidence. You'll have confidence to put in more money. People get into trading and they get sold on this marketing thing. Oh, come in, make $1,000 or $100,000 a month, and they jump right in and they end up losing. 90% of the traders lose because they don't have a foundation, and then they don't have the mindset. There's no quick money in trading. You have to know your strengths. You have to know your weaknesses. So when they first come in my group, I basically put them through a 7-day challenge, like a steps. Go through this step, go through this step, go through this step. And it doesn't matter the amount of money you have. It is, are you able to contribute 1 hour a day? Because some people can't control their calendar. They are reactionary. Everything they do is reaction. And so you can't be reacting in a market that goes up and down. And so that's the first step, is to understand and teach them the foundation of trading. And then it's like, okay, now you go through these 7 steps. Let's answer some questions. So you'll get IQ. You'll understand what you're doing. So I believe in making guys go through a boot camp. Here, we're going to teach you the foundation. We're going to make you do things. We're going to make you open up a wallet. We're going to have you manage it. We're going to make you secure the wallet. We're going to put you through these things. And then after you pass that, then put more money in. Now you start out with $100. Now put $500. Because if you can make 10% with 100, which is $10, then you can make $50 with 500. You should be able to progress your way up and put more and more in. Whereas other guys says, oh yeah, you need to start with 2,000. No, you need to start with 100, because that's tuition. That is learning how to manage your money. Because I believe in independence and empowerment. I don't want anyone to be dependent on me. I want to free people where you don't have to depend on anyone. You know that you can go to the market and you can make $1,000 or $10,000 when you go sit down and trading. So that's empowerment, and I don't want dependent adults. I want adults to be free enough to where that when I go on vacation, I had a mansion, a $10 million mansion this weekend in La Jolla. All my mastermind members came, and I didn't trade that weekend. But the traders that didn't go there, they were able to still make money in the market. So they weren't dependent on me to be there.
Wow. So we have another question from our audience, and Ms. Shanique asks, how long has cryptocurrency been around?
Bitcoin has been open. It was introduced in 2009, but I don't think people really started trading it until 2014. 2014 is when guys really started trading. It's been around since 2009. but it's been planned for a lot longer. There was a magazine in 1984 that talked about a new world and the blockchain. In 1994, the Economist magazine had an article about the blockchain and cryptocurrency. It is a world currency that's been in planning for a while, in my opinion. And, I think it's part of the new world order to some extent, and if I believe that, they say, well, if you believe that, it's like, it's nothing we can do to stop it. So my family is going to profit and benefit from it, in my opinion.
That's true. Just like with any economy, there's profits. Even in war, there's people that profit from war.
Right. Even
in the chaos and the destruction, somebody's profiting. Somebody's making money from it.
Right.
So great question. Great question, Shanique. That's incredible. And you need a firm foundation. So you lost money when you went to that mansion because you say you didn't trade. Yeah, you actually lost money.
But it was about the experience. Like, how many people get to go to a $14 million mansion overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and it was a goal planning weekend. It was for us to plan our 2021 out, because I believe the best plan is your plan. And so when you create a plan and a roadmap, a lot of people out there, they're just reacting. COVID hit, they reacted. For us, it was still full speed ahead. We had a mansion vacation. We had people from Canada, all over the world show up. And they're like, this is COVID. Like, what are you guys doing? It's like, we're free. We're free to still vacation with everyone else. So on my Facebook profile, we have pictures of imagining guys going to the beach and meditating on the ocean when everyone else is worried about the politics. And like, I don't care who's the president. Nobody's going to stop us from taking care of our family.
That's
and being free,
being free. And you've said that throughout. Y'all, this is Mr. Jamar James dropping gems on this show right now. Please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast and get this message out. We need to uplift this man. We need to get this man to a whole nother level, because he is changing lives and he is setting people free. And Miss Daniel Clark mentioned it earlier. She said they, meaning our people. She's like, yeah, I mean, anyone. I mean, he just said,
I believe our people is your circle, my tribe. That's who our people is people that believe in the same thing you believe or share the same aspirations that you share. I don't prescribe to whoever's going to help with the movement. My mom was a Black Panther, and growing up in Oakland, it's like, you take the help for your cause, like whatever your cause is. And my cause is to break generational curses, where I know my daughters won't have to work, the same way my mom worked, and she won't have to retire from a post office. My daughters may never have a job. They're going to be unemployable. They'll create their own business, create their own group of friends. So this is what I'm talking about when I say our people, is whoever's in your tribe. That's who I'm trying to uplift, and everybody's not going to like you or whatever, but at least you have your truth. You have your truth. And I feel like I'm free to do whatever I want, and I don't care who wants to stop it.
So you're saying you actually thrived, you and your tribe actually thrived during the pandemic?
Yeah, we did more. Think about this. When has it ever been a time in history that your people, my people, anyone, the world slowed up enough for us to catch up? When has it been a time that the whole world shut down where we can catch up? Right? Because everyone is struggling to get to the top. Well, they shut the entire economy down. That was a time to run forward and do everything that you imagined. Your job laid you off, and everybody is broke, and they gave you a stimulus. They gave you money to go survive. That was a time to open up something. I bought 2 houses during COVID. When March, I was closing escrow in May, because that is the time you respond, right?
Right.
Employees and people that don't have a plan, they react to things that happen. People that are leaders and want more, that's when you respond. Nothing can stop your plan. Not COVID, not the president. A lot of people spend time worrying about things that are outside of their control. And so we, as this last weekend, we spent 3 days with other adults planning our 2021. Saying, hey, we're going to partner together. We're going to work together. We're going to trade together. We're going to buy real estate together. And we weren't talking about, well, who's going to be in president? What happens if COVID blows up and shuts the economy? It's like, no, we have our goals. We know where we're going. And that is an important part of trading, an important part of life. You can't put a ship out to sea with no map and no destination, or not, he'll just be floating around lost.
Yeah.
So that's part of this whole mastermind environment, is to break generational curses, to have a plan, to take money out of the market where you can't be discriminated against. There's no ageism, there's no colorism, there's no nepotism. It is, you learn a skill and you can actually take it to wherever you want.
So tell my audience about your masterclass and how can they, because you said boot camp. When I hear boot camp, I get fear. I get scared.
Right. So I have a mastermind environment, right? And so one of the books I like is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And he says, when you put two minds together, you create a third mind that has infinite possibilities. Well, what happened if I put 100 minds together, 200 minds looking at the market? The boot camp is really, I was in the Marines, and the boot camp was really an indoctrination period. It is giving guys the ability to know that you can be free. And if you learn this, and if you buy into the system, and if you actually do the steps that we're telling you, that you're going to be like the rest of us. And so the boot camp is not really like intimidating. It is like, here's the steps and foundations. So before you're in the mastermind at that point, but before you jump in and you start trading and putting this money in, let's give you the foundation. Let's give you the indoctrination period where you can learn and ask all the questions and not feel intimidated and feel open to say, hey, I'm a newbie. Everybody else is in that boot camp is newbie with you. But then when you come out to, the real mastermind, where we're actually trading and you're seeing guys making 10 grand or 5 grand and, in a couple of hours or, a day or two, now you're starting to get inspired. And you're like, all right, I'm going to take this even more serious because I can talk to the guys. I can send them a message, bro. How did it feel to make 200,000? What are you going to do with that money? He can tell you, I met him in Texas. He's buying a house in Texas, and buying a house in Alabama, wow. and that's what it's about.
So I feel like I missed the train. I feel like my audience is probably feeling like they've missed the train on this, because you're talking about thriving in the beginning, even in the heart of the pandemic, and even to this day. I feel like, is it too late to get in on cryptocurrency and join your masterclass? Is it too late?
No, not at all. I mean, I think trading has been here for the last 300 years in America. It's been here since the beginning of time. Like you're not late to anything. Like you're actually at risk by not doing anything and not taking a step forward, because the government is still making a plan for it. The PayPal just a couple of weeks ago said, hey, we're going to be selling crypto. Venmo a couple of weeks ago. This is still the infancy, and the market is moving like crazy right now. So you're at risk if you do nothing. Wow. If you don't get in right now, it's going to be so high and so expensive that you're going to just be a user. Only drug dealers and technology companies call people users. Right?
Right.
I mean, Facebook, you're a user. A drug dealer, oh, he's a user. Right. You want to be an owner. Be an owner now. Like, get into crypto and Bitcoin, own it. Start buying some. That is the goal. You're either gonna be a user or you're gonna be an owner.
and that's the ticket. That's a ticket right there. So y'all, this is, you're not gonna get this gem only in Mr. Jamar James's masterclass. You're not gonna get this anywhere else. Please ignore the pretenders. I get friend requests from Bitcoin miners. They call themselves miners every day. And so being able to peel back the onion and the fluff to find you was a chore, but I'm glad I did, because you are serving my audience today.
And that's another reason to join the mastermind. Let me just tell them. You join the mastermind when you have 100 people or 200 people in the group, and they're all free people. They're gonna tell you the truth. I don't believe in all the minor scams and the multi-level marketing things. I believe in ownership and empowerment. And the miners.
And this isn't that.
This is not that. Not at all. You don't give anyone your crypto. Don't trust anybody. This is about getting the knowledge right? And the information, and then verifying it with other people. So even if you go watch a course on YouTube, if you don't have a circle to actually verify if that information is good, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Don't go to Google University, YouTube University, because they can put anything on the internet. You know, you want to see people real life, and you want to see their experience. You want to see what they driving, what their zip code is, and you want to talk to them. You know, that's what I say. Your zip code don't lie.
That's true. That's so true. We got another question from. She is excited. I've been promoting you all week, and so my audience is excited. Shanique is excited. What platform allows users to trade cryptocurrencies? And I think I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead. This is cool.
I don't like Coinbase. I don't like Robinhood. You know, but these are the platforms that people are familiar with that allow getting Cash App will let you buy Bitcoin. PayPal now will let you buy Bitcoin. Now Binance and Bittrex, these are trading exchanges. They allow you to trade. You have things like Uniswap. There's more complicated ways and other things that you would need to learn, but Coinbase is the simplest way to get in. You know, and things like crypto.com. You know, you can download on your phone, you can sign up for an account, and you can begin trading it from there. You can download a thing called Atomic Wallet, and they'll allow you to buy crypto and sell it through your desktop. So there's a lot of options. And that is another benefit of, even if you don't get with the mastermind, my community, just get with some community. There's protection in numbers, you know, and you can ask other people, right? So you just don't do it alone.
And that's what I wanted to. That was the last nugget I wanted to say. There are so many platforms. There are so many crypto miners and experts and teachers,
right.
And there are so many platforms you can do it on. But in the master class with Jamar, you're gonna get the knowledge. That's what you need.
Right, the knowledge first, because you don't
need
even
the
know
knowledge.
You're not.
Right.
You don't know who's lying to you. You don't know who's real, who's not. So get it into a community. Well, at least you can ask the other users, like, hey, you know, what's going on? Is this guy for real? Or, you know, they're telling me a thing. Like, you know, go to their Facebook page and see how long they've been in crypto. You know, I've been in crypto since 2015, and I'm 100% committed. You know, I don't have no part-time job or nothing else. You know, I'm a trader. I have my mastermind. I created a community from 0 to 200 people, and we move as partners. You know, and that's how I look at all my guys that join. I want to pull people up so they can actually contribute to the mastermind, and we can do things like rent out $14 million mansions and hang out for a weekend and make our plans for the year.
Wow. So Miss Patience Dean asked a question. A lady told me last week she could trade for me and she could make me the same amount of money that you mentioned. She didn't believe her. Her first question was, is it legal? So is Bitcoin legal? Is the money that you're making, the mansion?
Trading is legal, but for her to manage someone else's money, it is illegal without her being licensed. It's almost illegal for me to give financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. You know, I share what I do, how I'm trading, but no, you should never give your money. You worked hard for that money. You basically put in a lot of hours and a lot of time. It's like giving someone the access to your bank account. Do not do that. I don't even like giving my money to I'm not going to even let a financial advisor manage my funds. I'm going to learn it myself and do it myself. Do for self. No, it is illegal, and you will get scammed. You will lose more money trusting other people, and that is why you join a group like mine. So you know you can understand that the new scams that come out, the new type of scams. You know, you want to avoid that, and people don't want to pay for information, but then they lose it by trying to do it themselves. No, I wouldn't operate on myself if I had to give myself brain surgery. I want a professional or expert. I'm not gonna cut my head open and try to dissect it because I want to save a few dollars.
That's so right. No, that's facts. That's 100% facts. Y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. We are on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all major platforms where social media can be viewed. Please tune in. Please connect with Mr. Jamar James, and please get in his DCGmastermind.com masterclass where him and other professionals are connecting and changing the absolute game. You already mentioned one. What are
Right.
two other books that you enjoy reading?
So I gave you the Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, James Redfield, The Celestine Prophecy. I feel like that book is um, it was a book I read when I was like 17, 18, and really it just kind of you can read the Bible, and the Bible is probably the best book ever written. The things it teaches
Amen.
you, but also I'm a spiritual person. I believe everybody you meet, this world is huge. And the reason why you run into certain people is that there is a exchange of energy that you're gonna have when you meet anyone. There's negative energy or positive energy, but you're gonna learn a lesson from everybody you come in contact with. And so I feel humans need each other. And so that book was impactful because it kind of just it reinforced that everyone you meet, there is a purpose, and it was meant for you to meet them. And so it's your job to uncover why. And so that book is powerful. And then, of course, The Science of Getting Rich. Um, you know, that book is important because historically, where I'm from, we had bad relationships with money.
Mm.
And what I mean by bad relationship is how can you want something that you've been taught that's evil? you know, and how do you want something that you think that it's not for you? And so the science of getting rich is that money. There's a limited amounts of money out there. There's abundance, and we deserve to have it. And you deserve to have it to do well with it. And so if you don't have enough money, and you're not, getting rich, and you don't feel rich, you're pushing. It's like money is like a woman. If you tell her you don't want her, she's gonna go away, right? I mean, if you actually tell a woman that you don't want her every day, she's gonna leave.
Right.
Right. And I don't want money leaving me. So the science of getting rich is there's a formula for attracting abundance and attracting money, for making money in the market. I don't have to work 8 hours to track a month of salary. I don't want to trade all my time for money. I want to make my money work for me. Now, am I happy without it? I would live happy, but I feel like I deserve it. I have a lot of value to offer. So, that is, you know, to me, you circulate money. You don't spend it, right?
Facts.
And it should come back to you. It's like a woman. She'll come back to you if you love her right.
Set her free, y'all. Set her free. We are trying to be free. That's Mr. Jamar has been preaching that the whole time. How do you give back to your community, Mr. Jamar? I know you give back to the masterminding community, but what speaks to your heart?
Still here, a thing called for one, I give my time, but I run all right. So it's Christmas, Bitcoin Santa. Kids for the last 5 years, I open up my office and they come down and I give them Bitcoin. Right. I basically have them a wallet, teach them about financial literacy. I do a ton of workshops. I have a nonprofit that is designed to just offer the information for free, offer the financial information. I'm real big with kids. I sponsor a lot of sports teams, and the education. Even the DCG Mastermind. Everything I do for paid, I also do for free. So I have a free group and I have a paid group. The free group gets the information. The paid group gets my time, and that is, that's just how I feel. I feel like if you have a light, you should share it. I send out a lot of money to family. My wife, she donates to church every week. It's all about giving. It's all about just giving what you can give. And if someone needs help, it doesn't cost you much to help them. And if you have it for a reason. So really it's the idea of philanthropy. It's the idea that I give to whatever causes. I just don't like giving to corporations. I don't like having a third party. I like doing it directly.
Yep, to the people in need. Who is your hero and why? I guess that's a terrible word to say, right? But who mentored you? Who coached you? Who helped you realize that there's a better way?
He wasn't my hero, but I mean, I paid him to be my friend. So, like like, I had a mentor that really impacted me. His name is Dave Keller, and he basically was a business coach / trader, but he got me into being an entrepreneur and flipping real estate, and then got me into the market. I don't consider him a hero, but I consider him a wise business person. I got a lot of my inspiration from books, Napoleon Hill and um, Jay Abraham, just a lot of books. And I mean, my mom was my hero. My mom, the one that had 2-3 jobs, that carried. I was just so grateful and blessed to have a mother that sacrificed so much. And a lot of times she'll think that, man, like, why you raise your kids like that? So I want something different. And she's like, well, since I did such a terrible job, I was like, nah, Mom, you did a great job with the information that you had, right? With the information and where they were from. But that was my hero. Was they did all they could with the information that they had, and they tried as hardest, and the effort was there. It's just that I feel like her life was cheated because she didn't have enough information. The life could have been a lot more easier. But so there's a lot of people out there that give back. I have a lot of heroes, or I admire a lot of people that are able to just share, and want to change people's direction. Little things can change people's directions their entire life and other generations. And I think through finances, if people had more money, they have more freedom, and they would spend more time with their kids. But unfortunately, the less time you spend with your kids working and trying to take care of them, the least you leave them out there, where they getting their guidance from. There's an authentic thing about being there and being able to tell your kids, hey, I love you, and I want to see you succeed, and having the time to spend with them.
And that's true, right? Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. He shares his story when he was in college. Before he got to college, he admires Denzel Washington, and the two of them had never met. But because he had won the Denzel Washington scholarship, he was able to attend a very prestigious university and graduate. And without game changers, just like yourself, men giving back, we would have never had Black Panther today. We would have never been, who knows where he would have been. But because of men changing the world like that and giving back, we were blessed with Chadwick Boseman. So you're right.
All right. Hey,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and that's the science of getting rich. If you just give, without any expectations, and you're circling that energy, so you don't know who you're going to affect by giving or being open to it. Like when you try to hide and hoard the money and keep everything to yourself. We have a lot of people in our ancestors that they died with a lot of jewels. They died with a lot of information. If you get new information, it is really your responsibility to spread it. Give it to the people that may have never had access to it. So,
Facts.
I think that is if you have funds, if you're making a lot of money, it's like you don't have to be limited to putting it out there. And that's the idea of having money. And the science of getting rich is, you never feel poor. I feel like you have a lot to give.
That's very true. No one ever went poor by giving. How can my audience connect with you, uplift you, and connect with you, sir?
All right. They can follow me on Facebook. Everything is my name, Jamar James. That's my business page, Jamar James 11. My personal page is Jamar James. And then DCG Mastermind. It is a free community. We have a paid version to it that I have over 5 live classes a day with different instructors. That when you come into the paid version, and like you said, the information is free, but paying for guys' time, that is what you want. That's the interaction. If you have a baby and you never hug them, it's people that just are hired just to go hug babies in the hospital, because I think humans need each other. And so, the training that I do inside the mastermind, it is real people training and talking to you and walking you through on the information that we have on the DCG Mastermind. That's free. So you go in, you get to see the information that's being distributed. There's a 7-day challenge you can take. You go into topics, and it's a free course. It's actually my strategy that I use to trade with. And so I give that away for free. You can use it, and all you do is sign up, and you get access to the free version, and it has a course in there, and you just follow the videos, and you'll at least get the steps to trading. If you want help and you want to interact with me, then it is a $500 a month fee to be inside the mastermind. And so you have two options: get the information and start charging, or get the guidance and come inside the mastermind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Jamar James. Thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in and subscribing. Again, check it out, tune in, and support Mr. Jamar James and the movement that he's doing. I call it a movement because there's a lot of pretenders. You got to be careful. There's a lot of fakers. And so you got to be able to filter through the fluff and filter through all the layers. But when you connect with this man, we need to connect with him, uplift him, and support him, because he's supporting us and he's giving back. This is time, right? But we are not retiring well, and that's what he's giving back today.
Hey, you don't have to wait till you're 50 or 60 to retire. Like I haven't, every weekend I'm in a different place. I'm able to trade. I've never missed a daughter's softball game, games. I'm there. I'm a family man. And that's what life is about. That is what it's about, is being able to have control of your time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So y'all, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for tuning in to the Gentleman Style Podcast show. Thank you, Mr. Jamar James. I appreciate you, brother. Please don't give up. Don't ever quit. Don't ever stop. Like you said in the beginning, don't stop grinding. Don't stop hustling, but hustling smarter. You're hustling this now. You're hustling smarter.
I appreciate you for having me here, man. Like, it's always good to, if I can share my life with new people, man, I so appreciate you even giving me this opportunity. I think you gave me this opportunity for a reason, and I'm blessed to be here with you in the audience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Well, I hope I can get you in the near future as you grow, maybe a year from now. As you grow, we can tune in and check back and see how things are progressing.
Hey, anytime. Like, if I give time. If you call me, I'll be there.
Awesome, sir. So thank you, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. This is Marcus Norman and Mr. Jamar James. Like I always say, take care of your families, take care of your friends, and take care of business. This is Marcus Norman and Mr. Jamar James, 8 cryptocurrency guru, signing off. Thank you. Love y'all. Bye.